proposition. But now, when you go all the way to this form factor right here, and you're kind of in small tablet territory, that entire experience has become less uncomfortable. Like a YouTube session on this thing is a totally different proposition than a YouTube session on a smartphone as it currently stands. But as far as I can tell, I mean, this is the biggest video watching experience I think I've ever had on a phone. It's super easy to hold, like you're holding it like this. This is real life now, guys. This is what it's gonna be on the street, on the bench, in the public transit. It's a whole new thing, and you're gonna notice it from a mile away. I think this thing has fully engaged the sci-fi Lou right now. But what we're looking at is the convergence of these various devices into a singular device. Can this thing get to a point where it can legitimately replace the laptop as well? This is a real future. I'm convinced. Now keep in mind, like we said before, you close it down, it's like closing a laptop. It's ready for the pocket. And it's slender. And it's real fancy looking. This is a double tap to wake this up on the outside, like this. But then over here to unlock it. And then this is your screen off switch. And fingerprints unlock. When I'm out on the street, when I'm out just living life, how often do I transition between the two modes? I would think I could get by through a lot of scenarios in the clamshell. You're surfing the web, you know? You hit up Twitter. You're just, it's a whole different thing going on. It's definitely expensive. We should talk about that. I mean, it's $1,980. Well, USD. It is a powerhouse though. 12 gigs of RAM in this monster. Snapdragon 855. It's got a 4380 battery. I really think it's the future. It's crazy to say. I didn't know I was gonna say it. This is some futuristic stuff. The 12-year-old me, like, holy moly, man. Like, just when you thought things were getting stagnant, and now that's real. Now that's a thing. That's a thing going on. Now, I do need to say, it's very important, okay? I do need to say, you can see where the display folds over. It depends on the background as well. I made videos on this. I expected this to be the case. And the truth is, I don't care. I don't care at all. This is magic. Ranting and raving aside here, it's still got a camera. Oh my God, look at the camera. The setup is very similar to the S10. You have the typical wide, you have the ultra wide, and of course you also have the telephoto. Here's telephoto first, typical wide, and then my favorite, ultra wide. Oh my goodness gracious. So that's your ultra wide image. There's your wide. And there's your telephoto. And as you can see, you can compose just like this, just like you normally would. Lot to grip onto there. So you can see in landscape, I can go ultra wide, quick, standard wide, quick, telephoto, quick, and then I can fold it out and I'm still in the camera module. Interestingly enough, the same cannot be said for the front-facing cameras because, of course, we have 2 units here and a single unit on the outside. And we have a selfie, a slightly wider image, and a slightly closer one. Very nice. Wow. Jack, that's the biggest selfie we've ever analyzed here on the channel. That's a nice, that's contrast. So that's a 10 megapixel camera. Now on the inside, you have the 2 camera modules there. You have a 10 megapixel and an 8 megapixel. And we'll try these ones out as well. We'll see if we get any difference. So performance, I'd say, is similar on the outside camera and the inside camera. Now what about the speakers? So first, I guess we'll test it for dialogue with a typical YouTube video. Video that I made about switching from Apple laptops, from MacBooks of all sorts. Look at legit stereo. It's light, I'm enjoying it. And loud. It's all about the keyboard, in fact. Look at that keyboard, you see that, Jack? You have a speaker unit in this location over here, and as well as on the other side over here. So legit stereo sound. That's convenient, because then you can charge other things up with this brick in your bag. Let's try some music real quick. It's got a crispy sound, it's detailed, and you got sound on the left and right side. You actually have legit stereo separation, which is so unusual in the smartphone space. I mean, that's really impressive. I'm happy with that. What can we really say about it? You come into this thing, you want to be skeptical. It's your job to be skeptical. And of course, I can find a way to do that because of the price. It's still very expensive. It's almost $2,000. And I realize not everybody's gonna be able to splurge and spend 2 G's. But you wanna frame it a little bit differently. You can say, what if that individual is in the market for a tablet and a phone? I gotta say, just as a tech fan though, I mean, it's so refreshing to look at something that's so different, a completely different take on something that you're so used to. And then in the other departments where it just has to be a phone, first and foremost, it's kind of like a repackaged S10, which, I mean, you already know, one of the best phones out there. You guys have watched enough videos to know it's coming through, right? The excitement level, it's coming through or it's not. And this is legit. This is the real thing. All right, let's look at the other colors. Oh my goodness gracious, this is bananas. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, that is the blue, which kind of has like a cool purplish hue to it with the gold hinge. This one is gold on gold. Or is that green? That's an emerald kind of greenish gold with the gold hinge. That's black with the black hinge. What are they calling this, Will? Green? Martian green. Okay, that's Martian green with the silver hinge. Astro blue with the silver hinge. Dark silver. Oh my goodness gracious. Kind of like outfitting the interior of a luxury car. You don't just pick the color anymore. You pick the color, you pick the hinge. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. Our smartphones are folding now. Like, just stop and think about the engineering involved, all the people involved. When you start to imagine, then the appreciation comes in, that ultimately we get to experience stuff like this because of all those people going after that ambition. That's always been exciting, and it's products like this that bring me back to that excitement from day one. It's the reason this channel exists, and it's the reason that it started. That's the Samsung Galaxy Fold.
Steve and Dave use eToro to invest in the financial markets. Steve does research.
For a lot of people, the next OnePlus phone is going to be the most exciting device to come out in 2019, and in anticipation of that, OnePlus has sent over this. We've got the main event on the right, but first let's just take a quick look at the Explorer backpack they've sent with it. So yeah, OnePlus makes backpacks too, and this one is probably my favourite from the company. It looks clean, it's water resistant, it's got a fair bit of storage, but there are a few key differentiators. It's got this magnetic buckle which you open just by pulling down, and then when you're done with the bag you just let go and usually it'll lock itself. And of course, because it is made by a phone company, they've added a secret pocket at the back to hold your phone. Alright, onto this densely packaged cardboard box they've also sent over, and when we open this up, there are a lot of things inside. But first things first, the Bullets Wireless. They come with a couple of interesting pieces. You've got this silicone looking case, which kind of reminds me of the back of some of the cases you actually get on OnePlus phones. There are a range of ear tips, as well as different sizes of hooks to keep them in place if you're running around. And these are the Bullets Wireless. And I like them, they sound good, but as with the backpack, there's a couple of features here which do differentiate them. The earphones connect with magnets, and you can use this to play and pause music without actually touching your phone. The magnets aren't quite strong enough for them to find each other if you just drop them, but as long as you put the earphones together, they do connect and it does work. You might have noticed they don't come with a charger of their own, but using most smartphone chargers, you can give them 5 hours of battery in 10 minutes. Alright, for some context on what's inside this box, take a look at the OnePlus 6T McLaren edition. Then we've got the OnePlus 6T, and before that came the OnePlus 6. If we jump back to 2017, there's the 5T, the OnePlus 5, and we've not even talked about the limited editions OnePlus has made. We've got whites, we've got reds, we've even got the more obscure like the OnePlus 5 JCC Plus edition. With that in mind, let's take a look at this, the box for the OnePlus 3T. This phone was the last phone they produced before the OnePlus 5, which felt like a major shift in direction. Underneath the phone there's a little instruction manual, a little sheet of paper that welcomes you to the device, and then the dash charging cable and the dash charger that you're very familiar with. We've also in this box got the OnePlus 3 Soft Gold Edition, and something I'm really curious about is this phone, the OnePlus X. But there's more. This right here is the box for the OnePlus 2, and as you can probably tell now that we've moved this far back in the company's timeline, things are starting to look a little different. We've got an instruction manual inside this red box,
not opposing me.
But the charger and the cable you're seeing here are very different. This is only a 10 watt charger compared to 22.5 on the new ones, and the cable is still USB Type-C, but just looks unusual. And then, this is the OnePlus One Box, a super exclusive phone. You might remember that when this thing came out, you needed an invite to even purchase one. I gotta say, I like the box. It's kind of unusual in terms of form factor, and the phone is the first thing you'll see. Underneath that, you've got this well-presented SIM ejector tool. You've got
Stay alert.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
with overwhelming force.
First blood.
I do not tolerate. Scurry, weakling. I will not rest.
Has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have been slain. Double kill.
Make no mistakes. My orders. Carve a path. My destination is clear.
Killing spree. Slain.
Never retreat.
Double kill. Shut down.
Noxus will rise. Stay alert.
Rampage.
Strength above all.
Shut down.
That's fine.
Dominating.
I do not tolerate cowardice. I will not rest.
An enemy has been slain. slain.
My destination is clear.
Slain. Turret plating will soon fall. Your turret has been destroyed.
Make no mistakes.
An enemy has been slain. Legendary. Enemy rampage.
Noxus.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Never retreat.
Shut down. Has been slain.
Above all.
Enemy double kill.
I have my orders.
Turret. An enemy has been slain.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
no mistakes.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
Stay alert.